Bye. Well, hello everyone. How are you today? I'm so excited that you're here. And yeah, let's ramble. Are you ready to ramble? Okay, well, we never know where the conversation is going to go. But as people are joining, I will start with some news, some Cambodian news. I've picked a few stories that I don't know, you might find interesting that aren't the normal news. So let's see here. Hey, Andy. Okay, go feed the neighbor's doggy and take your time. I'm just going to read some news stories until you get back. All right. So the first news story here in Cambodia is about the prime minister's son, who is a lieutenant general in the military. He has come out and said during a speech at an inauguration ceremony um, that science and religion must go parallel and help each other for the society. Well, in the United States, there's separation of church and state, which is so sacred. Great, listening on headphones. Okay, so separation of church and state in the United States. That is not the case in Cambodia. It is a Buddhist religion. In fact, on any legal document, you must have at the top nation, religion, king. Actually, you have to set on top of that, you have to have Kingdom of Cambodia and then nation, religion, king. That makes it a valid document. If it doesn't have that, well, two parties can, it's like a handshake, right? Um, so you can squabble over it, but it's not enforceable per se. So this is really now the this is from the Khmer Times, and the the leading party in power right now, political party, is called the Cambodian People's Party, so, and it's known as the CPP. So it starts out: the CPP's future prime ministerial candidate Hun Manet said that science and religion must go parallel, help each other, and the role of religion in education is becoming more important in modern times. Hey, Chalet, welcome in. We're just talking about some news. So there was a video of the speech at the inauguration ceremony of achievements at Wat Amara in Takao province yesterday. Well, yesterday as of the day of, I'm not sure if this is today's story or previous. Anyway, the video is going to be on his official social network on February 7th. What? This is a reason. That's ridiculous. Maybe I shouldn't have said which newspaper this is from. Something's not right in that. I used to be a sub-editor. I would definitely be talking on March 7th, maybe. Sorry, I've got a post-nasal drip going on. So that post-nasal drip is tickling my throat. Oh, I apologize. Just get this started. Wish I could just pause. I think for the last couple of days, since I've had this post-nasal drip, I haven't had a coughing fit like this. So embarrassing. Hey, drip, 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 absolutely. I've got some background instrumental music on. If that's too loud or if it's irritating, let me know. I can turn it off. Okay, I think I can keep going. So Hun Manet said that he highly values the role of religion for the society, considering that religion must go parallel with science. to help society grow and harmonize. Said religion is important in explaining 2 points, the first of which is superstition, and the other educates the mind so that people have peace and do good. Now, of course, the religion that they're talking about is Buddhism and not Christianity. But recently, about a month ago, there was some kind of like International Religion Day or something, and the Prime Minister had a big gathering of various religious leaders, including a Coptic Christian priest who is here, and but Catholics, Christians, Buddhists, a whole bunch of religions that are here present in the country, and saying that he welcomes and respects all religions. So this is kind of coming on the tail of that. Hun Manet went on to give the example of the destruction of Cambodia during the Pol Pot era, first destroying the religion, then destroying the people, which degraded the Cambodian society. The government has made great efforts to revive the religious sector after the overthrow of the genocidal regime of Pol Pot in 1979. He stressed that in Cambodian society, teaching science alone is not enough to promote more psychological education through religion for people. And he said, oh, and in fact, this is, that's the end of that story. Okay. Dang, it's like you're on some kind of voodoo doll attack. Oh, maybe. Or, okay, I'll take a break from the news and I'll tell you, last Wednesday, so about 5 days ago, there was an event with with AmCham, the American Chamber of Commerce, which I attended. In fact, Hun Manet, who this story is about, was going to be there as like a keynote speaker. And so he required that everybody attending take a COVID test within 24 hours of the event and show their test results that they're negative. Now, I know from working at the Khmer Times, when we were in the middle of everything, we had to take tests, a nasal test every 2 weeks. And every time that test went in my nose, it's like my body had an allergic reaction in the sense of, oh, there's something foreign, I don't like it, immune response right now, right? And your first immune response is like, okay, it's the nose, and so it's having some runny nose, or whether it's coming out the front or the back in a postnasal drip. Then there was actually a little bit of sore throat, because then the throat was saying, okay, we need to make a fever to kill what we think is germs, or what really are germs. And that's why you have that sore throat and that burning, because it's like a fever throughout your whole body, only it says it's not in the whole body. We don't need to make a fever everywhere. We're gonna, okay, we've got the nose reaction. We're gonna like make sure it doesn't go into the rest of the body by heating up the throat and stuff. And so I was able to get some liquid echinacea flour, the flour. There's a pharmacy here in town that does sell this particular brand of, so it's like a cough syrup almost, but it's not for coughing, but I mean the consistency of it. And it's got all these herbs, and it helps your immune response, right? Helps build your immune system. So I've taken that. I got fine, but the first few days, I mean, you got to take that right away, and it nips it in the bud. But it was a couple of days before I could get to the pharmacy and get a bottle and start taking it. But it definitely helped, because now it's only postnasal drip. Well, it's the same comment. Okay. When I was at the newspaper, it took about a week and a half for this to go away. And then, finally I'm back to normal. And then it was that 2-week test again. Oh, drove me nuts. So for like a year, I had this. In fact, when uh, when I left. That's one of the reasons I told them is for my health. And there were a couple of different factors, but that was one of the health factors. And they were starting to do the tests every week instead of every 2 weeks. And it's like, no, no. So I left. Uh, oh, and Chalet, Andy saying hello to you. Coffee. Yeah, I should have some hot coffee or even hot water with lemon in it, lemon and honey, something like that. I should be drinking that. But I do have some water. Whew. So that's why I've got this stupid post-nasal drip, and it's driving me crazy. But okay, yeah, it sucks. It does. But I'm not going to let it get it down. Too much good things. Too many good things in my life right now, which most of you know with the new job and the new house coming and everything. All right, so next story. 90% of people in the kingdom are able to read now. That is an amazing statistic. When I first came here, the literacy rate was very low, less than half. Less than half of the people could read. All right. Now it's up to 90% in 16 years. And so this is the Minister of Education announced this at National Reading Day. And he said home is where the reading should begin. So that's nice. I just put a little blurb about that one. All right. Here's something you're not going to see in most countries, I think. The holiday of Khmer New Year is coming up next month. And traditionally, people that, a lot of people come to Phnom Penh to work and in factories and things like this. And they all travel home for Khmer New Year. So, because it's a 3-day holiday, but I don't know, maybe they have a week off or something. I don't know, but they all, so Phnom Penh is completely empty. Used to be all the businesses would be closed. Now you have a lot more businesses that are open. They will pay people to, pay people overtime or whatever to work on the holiday. But traditionally people leave Phnom Penh. So the Prime Minister has ordered the Phnom Penh City Hall to release hundreds of vehicles, and mostly buses, to transport people to visit their hometowns during the upcoming Khmer New Year. He made this order while presiding over an awards ceremony, blah, blah. He said, deploy cars so that taxis or buses do not have to increase in price to transport people for the new year for those who do not have the means to travel by car. He told the city governor, to prepare around 400 vehicles. And 14th, 15th, and 16th of April is when Khmer New Year is. So that's pretty cool. No excuses for not being able to read for long. Yes. And once you know how to read, the world opens up, because you can read about anything. Next story. Okay, this one I found interesting because, we're all talking about the digital age coming, the transhumanism, the 15-minute cities, blah, 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 everything, right? So this is called verification of documents digitally now available. So the Prime Minister has signed a sub-decree which it's not quite like an executive order, but it's like a law, but not to the level of a constitutional law. But pretty much when there's a sub-decree, then everybody has to follow it. It's as good as law. And he signed the sub-decree allowing the public to use QR codes issued by the Ministry of Post and Telecommunication to verify their official documents. The digital verification can be done for documents having QR codes on verify.gov.kh on this platform. And those who need a QR code for themselves that proves who you are, right, for your identity, can make a request to the ministry. The digital platform helps residents, especially students who want to get their certificates verified. want to get their certificates verified by the local authority without visiting respective offices. And so one 18-year-old student who passed his grade 12 examination last year said that this platform helps students to verify their certificates on time to enroll at the university or submit documents for scholarship examination. I remember, quote, I remember the struggle my older brother had gone through for 5 days to verify his certificate with a local authority. But now we can save time by just using the app. And then a director of a school said that it's very important for the private sector and public sector because it saves a lot of time. Quote, authorities need so much time to verify student documents because they must scrutinize and double check the documents. So when the government allows people to verify documents by themselves, it becomes helpful for everyone, especially those who live in remote areas. So yeah, that's pretty interesting because I think around the world, as more digital ID type things come into play, they're always going to be talking about the positive side of it, and the you know, for example, we put chips in our animals so that if they get lost, a veterinarian can scan that chip and return them to us. And okay, well, children, let's put them in our children. Let's put them in prisoners so we know where they are. You know, there's always, but it can all, the technology can then end up being used in a dark way as well. Of course, these are positive benefits, but this is just an example of how countries, including Cambodia, are rolling out more and more digital. Intangible, next story. My goodness, the amount of post-nasal drip I'm having is like incredible. I'm having to keep swallow. Intangible cultural heritage listing to be sought for the krama. Now, let me grab you a krama. You know what I'm talking about. Well, I didn't have one of the traditional patterns. This is just it's a scarf, basically, right? There's silk scarves, there's cotton scarves, there's whatever. But they're very, very, very commonly worn, and also you could end up using them like remember hobos used, the traditional image of a hobo where they tie their stuff onto a stick, and they use like a big flat piece of cloth as to tie a bundle. You can use it like that. You could put a baby in it. You can use it for like a million different things. Scary stuff going on. Cartoon on Netflix about getting this thing implanted in their arms. Yeah, there's countries that are doing it. Was it Sweden or something? So many Bible prophecies are coming true, and so many to go yet. Absolutely, those birthing pains they're like getting strong for sure. All right, now I know you're listening, Andy. Here's an update on the bird flu. The Centers for Disease Control provides an update on the H5N1 bird flu in Cambodia. A stray. Yeah. Oh, a lot of false teachers out there trying to lead the flock astray. Yes, so many. And there's so many different ways. I mean, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father but by me, as he said. Then there's so many different variations off of that way. Yes. Okay, so, and when they're saying the Centers for Disease Control, they're talking about the Cambodian one, which I'm not going to read the whole name of it. It's very long. You had a needle point pain in the left eye, instant stabbing pain, swear it was a voodoo and it went away but very painful. Oh my gosh. I am so sorry, Andy. Yeah. Sometimes you have to wonder if somebody is wishing you harm when something happens, you know. Okay, so they have updated the preliminary assessment of the H5N1 viruses that were identified in 2 human infections based on the genetic sequences. And so on February 26th, they shared the Cambodian company, medical institutes, shared the full genetic sequence of the virus that was recovered from the patient who died. The story goes on to talk about all these details, and I'm not going to get into that. But toward the end of the story, it said additionally, there were no genetic changes identified that are known to be associated with increased ability to spread to people or to reduce susceptibility to influenza antiviral drugs, which they mean vaccines, or are they talking about treatments? I'm not sure. But so they don't think it will reduce that, and it's not going person to person. The evidence to date continues to support the conclusion that these 2 human infections are the result of 2 instances of bird-to-human spread, and there is still no indication of a person-to-person spread associated with these 2 cases. So we hear about the Christian gathering, big turnout. In Chalet, you've also had that happen where you felt like it was a voodoo pin. Which gathering? The one at that school? Like that university, that college? That was kind of having a revival? Put on the full armor of God and no demon can hurt you, Chalet. Yes. Yes. Andy, but some say a lot of gay influence trying to say it's okay to be gay and Christian trying to subvert Christianity. Yeah, there's a lot of people saying, a lot of revival going on, a lot of fake religions. Yes, we all know that they're out there. I mean, we can ramble about anything. I don't care if we ramble about, religion and stuff, but I don't know, maybe there's enough other stuff to talk about. If not, then we'll go there. But I think we all know that definitely that there's a lot of ways that messages can go astray. Okay, healthy diet cost in Cambodia is among the lowest in ASEAN. ASEAN being the Southeast Asia countries. It says the cost of maintaining a healthy diet in Cambodia is the 3rd lowest in Southeast Asia. The Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations says. That's the FAO. So, you've got the FAO, you've got the, WHO, WHO, you've got the ILO for labor, International Labor Organization, whatever. This is just another one that's food and agriculture of the UN. The food and, FDA, food, well, that would be Food and Drug Administration. Department, it would be like the Department of Agriculture of the UN. All right, so at which Cambodia is very closely linked to the UN because after the Khmer Rouge and the Pol Pot regime, the UN was the first body to kind of come in and help get everything set up again, so that to help set up their elections and everything to get the government up and running after that time. So there's a lot of strong links with the UN. If the UN says jump, we jump, pretty much. Hey, Amelia! Welcome, Amelia. So we've got Chalet and Andy and Amelia. Let's see. Good morning, Maven and chat room. Yes, welcome. And Mabel! And Mabel's here. Yay! Is Kia ora how to say hello in Maori? And I do know, like, every Sunday I go to a restaurant that's owned by an NZer, New Zealander, and they did teach me the word, and I think they said that it's like aloha, it's like for hello and goodbye. I'm not sure. You can tell us that. Anyway, so according to a new set of indicators released by the FAO, Cambodia's daily cost for healthy food, not junk food, for healthy food, was $3.89 per person, based on purchasing power parity, exchange rates that equalize currency and buying powers by removing differences in prices between countries. We could fly by the seat of our pants. Yes. So among the other ASEAN country, the cost was lowest in Singapore, followed by Malaysia. Now that, okay, I'm sorry, but whatever kind of purchasing power parity thing that they're doing, there is no way that Singapore food, that health, any kind of food, healthy food or junk food, is going to be cheaper in Singapore. I can't believe that. There's got to be something wrong with the way that they do their indicators, because Singapore is one of the highest cost countries for everything across the board, and their people get paid more too. You know, their whole cost of living is, like, the whole thing is higher. Malaysia, I could believe. I mean, you've got Kuala Lumpur as a major city, but the whole rest of the country is probably pretty poor. And it can be used to say hello, goodbye. Am I saying it all right? Kia ora? Because I remember when they were telling me how to say it, it was kind of hard. It was kind of hard to say. But if I look at how you've written it, it looks like Kia ora. Kia ora? Good day, Mabel, Andy, and Chalet. Yes, everyone's saying hello to each other. Anyway, Indonesia had the highest cost, followed by Brunei and Thailand. And then Myanmar, Laos, the Philippines, and Vietnam were also in the $4 range, not like it was $3.89 a day for Cambodia. Now, on the world stage, Latin America and the Caribbean had the highest cost at $3.89, with Asia at an average of $3.72, followed by Africa, $3.46, and then North America and Europe are $3.19, and Oceania is $3.07 per day to eat healthy. Okay, that's it for the Cambodian news that I got, and I hope you found those interesting. First 28 minutes. How's the weather? I know, Amelia, you've got floods, and I think there was still some more rain coming. Sean, who owns the restaurant I just mentioned, his mother, Queenie, just flew back to visit some family for a couple of weeks. She just flew out a couple of days ago on Sunday. And I know that there was still some rain in the forecast. California's been hit with snow. 900 inches of snow. It's like unimaginable. I can't believe it. But it makes me think of the kind of storm that the Donner Party got caught in. You know, we have like, they preserved a tree, and then they made, okay, I think the tree's gone by now, but what they did is they made a monument. But there are old pictures of this tree that they chopped down the tree at the snow level that they were living on, that, you know, that they were camped on top of the snow. And so they cut the tree, and then when the snow melted, you could see that's how deep the snow was. right? And I don't think it's ever been that high again. I think this story, I haven't heard anybody say anything in the news about the Donner Party. That, the snow, comparing the snow level to what happened to the Donner Party. Snowing like crazy, a foot in 2 days. Yeah. So, Chalet, right. Who can we really trust? Just like on Zillow, they lie. Zillow. I don't know Zillow, but I guess it's a social media app, right? Is it a dating app? Still haven't got a flake, but it's brr chilly. Yeah, you got to have the right amount of precipitation and the right temperature, because if it gets too cold, it would actually, the snow would ice, and you would have like freezing rain or something. It wouldn't be snow. It actually has to be just a hair above freezing, or right around freezing. If it drops too much, then you don't get snow. It's for homes to look them up. Oh, right. I think I remember, like, in the Kylie Rodney stuff and everything, everybody was like looking up addresses on Zillow and everything. And I think even the Idaho 4, weren't they using Zillow to be able to see the interior of the house and stuff? Yeah, I remember now. I knew I heard of it, but I couldn't place it. So how are your animals? You didn't, I hope, Amelia, I hope you didn't lose any of your animals in the flooding. I hope you weren't hit too hard by it. I know I remember seeing a comment somewhere, I don't know if it was in my live or someone else's, that you said that you were near the area that was affected, but I think you yourself were okay, if I recall. Yes, I write Kia ora that way. It's 2 plus 2 syllables, but it's pronounced as one word. Confusing, eh? Yeah. Well, not well. I mean, if you hear it, I mean, I suppose I could try to put it in, like, how do you pronounce, and then play it. But Kia ora, Kia ora, Kia ora, Kia ora. Perfect spring break weather here. I try to find my dolphin friends today. I know. Thank you so much for sharing that video. I could not believe it. The chalet had dolphins coming right up. I mean, because that deck is like outside your house. That's like kind of like your patio. Is that deck over the water? Is it Kia ora? But try to say it fast as one word. Kia ora. Maybe. Yano, Shelley, it's weird how people believe lies, but when we speak the truth, we are benevolent energy or evil. Yeah, a lot of times people will think, either they believe you 100% or they disagree with you 100%. There's not a lot of middle ground when you are speaking truth. Turn this down a little bit. It's irritating me a little. There we go. But so easily people believe lies. That's why the Nigerian scammers sending emails to people would have gone out of business and stopped doing it if they weren't making money with it. Apparently, lies are more fun to believe, Mabel. Yeah, I knew what you meant. Kia, like the car, and then ora. Kia ora. On the internet, you can find any answer you want to. Whoops, it moved on me. On the internet, you can find any answer you want. If you want the answer to be yes, you can find it. If you want the answer to be no, you can find it. LOL. That's so true. And so, this is what I call my friend Bob on all the time when we have our crosswords, is like, because he's very like anti-Trump and things, and he loves CNN and he loves Rachel Maddow. And I mean, Rachel Maddow's voice is like nails on the chalkboard for me. Gosh, people aren't going to understand that. You know how we go like, where did that expression come from? And then there's some long lost historical story. Who uses a chalkboard anymore? Who scrapes their nails on the chalkboard? Right? They're not going to know like what that sound is and why we use it, the expression to talk about something irritating. Anyway, oh yeah, Rachel Maddow. And so I'm always telling, he's like, oh, they did Trump's documents, he's going to get, the FBI seized all, he had all these, classified documents and this and that. I'm like, yeah, so did Hillary, so does Biden. So get mad at them too. You can't get mad at one without getting mad at the other because they're all guilty of the same thing. Because I don't like any of them. Scrolling back. Okay, yeah. We started off with me reading some Cambodian news stories, and discussing a little bit of the confirmation bias. Yes, yeah, they have a term for it now. Other than shoveling snow, how you doing? I think Andy has snow, right? And Amelia has floods. Yeah, that was. Oh, okay. Why do I'm always commenting, and then the very next comment that's already sitting there is like what I just said. Yeah, but it was there first. That's gonna be kind of one of the trademarks of my show, I think. Let's see how long Miriam talks about explaining this before she sees that the answer that she's talking about is already there. Taking bets. You heard a ruckus, so you were like, what the heck? What was it? What was your ruckus? Not a morning person. It takes until evening to improve. Yeah. You're still trying to get out of the driveway, Andy. Oh my gosh. Well, I hope you don't have any place you have to get to right away. The sun is still shining in Maple World. Oh, it's the boat ramp making noise. Why, was there like a boat that went by and caused a wake? Doors on Chief's rig frozen shut. I've had that happen. Then you're out there with like a cigarette lighter or something, like a big lighter, and you're like trying to melt but then it gets hot, and then you burn yourself. The dolphins were making a ruckus. Oh my gosh. So are you watching us on the phone? Because then you can't go out and get video of the dolphin ruckus. I want unless I see it, I don't believe it. Oh, what's the term now? Receipts. Chalet, I need receipts about the dolphin ruckus. A small amount of warm water. Okay, that's good. Yeah, you got to be careful it's not so cold that it doesn't like freeze again. And then you just poured water and made thicker ice on it. Glad you're not on a call. Oh, yeah. Yeah, me too. I'm glad you're not on a call too. And yeah, Mabel says the dolphin is friendly. Yes, I've seen one video with the dolphin. It was roundup time. I live in the canal, so they can scoop them up. Who scoops up the dolphins? Tell me, who scoops up the dolphins? What do you mean? Or the dolphins are scooping up fish? Or is somebody scooping up the dolphins? I will do it when I hear. I love a challenge. Yeah. So if it happens every day, then tomorrow morning you can get it. Well, if they call for you, Andy, how the heck do you get out? Oh, yeah, because you're a volunteer fireman. Oh, that's so stupid. You're talking about a call. You're glad you're not out on a call for the volunteer fireman call. I was thinking you meant like a phone call because it would interrupt the live stream because you're on a phone. I guess you could mean both. I'm south. Okay, Amelia, you're south of the worst floods. Okay. Didn't have ground flooding, but had a lot of roof flooding, and your animals are all okay. Thankful. I'm so thankful. Yes. I mean, during the middle of it, I was praying for you, because it's like, oh my goodness. I was praying for you. I was praying for the My New Zealand Family video channel. I was praying for Queenie's family, and then when I was a radio host, the owner of the radio station was Maori from New Zealand, and but he's gone back there. He's left Cambodia and gone back, and so him and his family that I know a lot of were there. I was praying for everybody. Chalet. No, the dolphin scoops up the fish food. Oh, okay. So, do all the neighbors all go out and give fish food? Or is it like your husband is giving them fish food? Light a fire to melt the ice, Andy. Don't know which is worse, Amelia. Yeah, any kind of flooding can be bad, whether it's ground flooding or roof flooding. Okay, you're glad you're not being dispatched on a call. Okay. I'm good. I'm glad your animals are safe. Oh, good. I'm glad your animals are safe. Salt. Oh, for the melting the snow. But because he's talking about the keyhole on the door, right? Or you even use a key? Is the truck so old just uses a key, or does it have an electronic fob, and you go and it unlocks, but the door's melted. The whole door is melted shut. Just kidding. What? You mean your goats are having babies? I'm in Florida now, but I know all about the snow, born and raised in it. Yeah. When I went to college, so when I was there for 5 years, actually, not 4, because I did a lot of electives. Because being a non-traditional student in your 30s, you learn the value of like, hey, so what if it takes me an extra year? This is like, this is fun. Well, I don't know. I found I found school to be fun, especially like so many different elective topics. But anyway, there was snow in Cedar City, and so yeah, I learned about, and I only had a wood stove for heating, so I learned how to make a fire and bank a fire, and if it went out before you woke up in the morning, whoo, is it cold. I moved my bed into my living room so that my bed would be next to the wood stove. And then I left all my plants in my bedroom, and they like all kind of froze, died, That wasn't smart. Most of them did. Although I did kind of like, I would turn a fan on in the hallway, blowing air, like drawing air from the living room into the bedroom to help the plants, but it didn't work. So it's just frozen in. Yeah. Oh, the fish are the food. Got it. Okay. Yeah, so Andy, you have a fob and a key, and the whole door's frozen, and Chalet's dolphins are after the fish because there's a school of fish swimming through, I'm guessing. Get an extension cord and a hair dryer. Yeah, you could like use one of those cigarette lighter plugs and then plug it into that, except you can't get into the car. So I don't know, it depends on how far away from the house the car's parked. You might need a really long extension cord. Yeah, you know about those frozen locks. So you know how to, yeah, so that's what you would do. Brr. Or I think that you mean burr. Just BRB. Oh, be right back. I got it. Be right back. All right, Amelia. I don't think we're going anywhere for a while. Yeah. There I am, back again. I'll be right back, right? Our weather's good here. in January, we actually had quite a cold spell, as in, I don't know, it was in the 70s, which is cold, which when you live here for 16 years, that's like cold. Wearing sweaters and bundling up. Um, and so now it's back to normal. It's like in the high 80s. Um, we use Celsius here. That's what I mean. So it's like 32, 33, which I think is in the high 80s. I guess I could look really quick. What's Celsius Fahrenheit? 33. Come on, it's being slow. 33. 91. So it's been about 91. They said there might be some rain. So it's been dry season, so there hasn't really been any rain. And they said there might be some rain this week. But just because it rains in Cambodia doesn't mean it rains in Phnom Penh where I am. Ah, good. Amelia's back. Yeah, so it's been getting hot again. I'm not really feeling it so much because I'm pretty much working now in an office. So I leave in the morning when it doesn't reach the peak yet, and I'm going home after the peak. So what are you looking for? The cat's like digging its nose in was digging its nose in here as if it was looking for something. Oops. See, I've got some instrumental. Well, you can't actually see it, but you don't want to see your backside. Well, those hand warmer packs might fall off. That's a great idea. Right. You know, you have to like squish it to make the chemical reaction inside, and then boom, hold it on there. Yeah, what a great idea. No, 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 no. I got another month, or well, April 1st. April 1st, I get the keys, and then for 2 weeks, I want to like prepare. And then we have our Khmer New Year, which is a 3-day holiday. And so I want to keep everything clean and not move anything in until after Khmer New Year. Then I'll start moving in. And then my lease here runs out on the 27th of May. So I'll have, most of April and then May to move everything over to the new house. But I was thinking about like in the garden area, I could maybe start moving the potted plants that are in this patio over to the patio in the other house. I could do that because they gave me a key to the gate, so I can go in the patio gate area, but not in the house yet. They keep saying the U.S. is in drought with all this snow and rain. I don't understand it all. Well, you see, I'm living in California. They depend on the snowpack for filling the reservoirs. So I do know that a lot of time, every year they would talk about like the density of the moisture that's in the snow. They could test it, so they know it. It doesn't make sense, right? Snow is snow. You would think. It's frozen water, right? But there's a difference in the types of snow. So if they're saying that it's still in drought, then it could be that there's not a lot of water in the snow. But sometimes the narrative is just whatever they want to say. And of course, rain, sometimes it'll hit the ground and run off, and like with flash floods and things, and it doesn't really have time to soak in and refill the table, the underground reservoirs. So if your water table is already low and it's not filling up fast enough, which could also depend on the usage. If there's a lot of wells that are drawing water out of that reservoir, you could have normal rain, but the usage is more because you've got more cities or more, more urban area or something, and they're drawing all that water out at a rate faster than even normal rain would fill it up. You have a red flag warning in Florida that it's been dry, because it's been dry. Wow. So like no burning leaves or anything like that. Pam did a lot of research about water rights, and now lakes and rivers are drying up here. Yeah, she did, and that was really interesting. And then I went and found out too about for Southern California, and I guess the movie Chinatown, which I still haven't seen yet. I didn't realize that it was about this real water rights thing that was happening about taking water to LA from the California Sierra Nevada. Northern New Zealand, whoops, where did that go? There it is. Northern New Zealand is in a drought. Same with Canterbury in the South End Island. Go figure. Yeah, because I know those cyclones went right, which should be typhoons and not cyclones. But anyway, typhoons, they went right through across the top. But then there's also a lot of storms down, I guess, in the south too. She was totally correct. Yes. And I think, we had talked before about the Euphrates River that is drying up too. It's a great excuse not to go. Not to go where? Your red flag warning or the droughts? Not to go to New Zealand, not to go to the bathroom. Take it as a warning to stay home and hunker down. Yeah, that's true. I think maybe you just meant not to go out. If there's no residual winter snow cap on the ranges here, there's a drought. Yeah, same thing, yeah. Are you still able to play crossword puzzles with your friends? Yeah. Why would I not be able to play crossword puzzles with him? Because it's hot? It's not even hot yet. We get like around 100, We'll get like a whole month or two that's like 100 degrees. Or in the 90s, And believe me, I lived in Georgia and I've been down to Florida, and the humidity of Georgia and Florida, and even like up in the north, like Maryland and stuff, that humidity is worse than Cambodia. So you have a higher heat index than we have here. Friggin' Colorado River is drying up. I can tell you stories about the Colorado River, but I want to get through some of these other comments that are here. Water rights are a hot topic in New Zealand. I think all over the world. I think that there's some elites that are really trying to get the world supply of water. Bingo on that narrative. Okay. Yeah, crossword puzzles. Yeah, we're playing crossword puzzles every Sunday. They're called hurricanes here. Oh, okay. But the name changes to a cyclone. For some reason, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll tell you why. Because the journalists are friggin' uneducated. That's why. Sent that before I finished typing it. Okay, no problem. I'll tell you. Okay, this is what I've learned. This is like the International Meteorological Society or whatever, right? Whoever. Hurricanes form in the Atlantic Ocean. Typhoons form in the Pacific Ocean. Cyclones form in the Indian Ocean. Period. That's the deal. So when they get official names, like Hurricane Ian or whatever, or Typhoon Pablo, I don't know what, and those official names follow that. But the journalists don't know any better, and so they just start reporting it as something wrong. There, that's my 2 cents. Whoever owns the water wins. Yep. We have plenty of movies about the Old West like that, and it hasn't changed. My daughter lives in Florida's Panhandle, and it was awesome there. What, the weather? The weather was awesome in the Panhandle? Your brain's still in yesterday. Oh, Amelia, what? You didn't do anything. Huh? I'm back again. Forgive my internet. I'm checking about, like, so when I get the new house, I'm getting new Wi-Fi. So bear with me on the Wi-Fi. Your daughter lived in Florida's Panhandle, and it was awesome there. Okay, she's not there anymore. To work. To work. To work. Your job. Oh, you mean, do I still play crosswords with Bob because of my new job? No, I am off on Saturdays and Sundays. In fact, I'm off tomorrow. Wednesday I have off because it is International Women's Day. They gave me this beautiful rose at work. They gave all the ladies roses and cards. Oh, I think my card is right here in my bag. That's not it. This is it. So all the ladies in the office, happy Women's Day. And it says, your voice matters. Speak up, share your ideas, and make your opinions heard. Happy Women's Day. And my boss and I were talking today and chatting about this or that. And I don't know, he complimented me about something. And I go, oh, I'm not fishing for compliments. He goes, I know, I just wanted to say it. I go, okay, thanks. It's a great work environment. I love it. And I'm always complimenting everybody. Wow, good job. Oh, that's amazing. Excellent. I'm always with the team. Hey, great. Can we change this a little bit? Let's do it like this. Or whatever. Not like, oh, you're so stupid. You did it wrong. No, I would never do that. I'm like, hey, rah, rah, rah. But some personality types don't like that because they feel patronized. But I don't think we have all that many different personality types there. I need to scroll. Whoops. Okay, not too humid. Need to scroll. Who needs to scroll? I think I'm caught up. Second coffee. Wake up, brain. I don't have any coffee. I should make some coffee. I mentioned that earlier. Or even just like, Amelia, you might mention mist. I have like a post-nasal drip, like allergies in the nose, and it's like just dripping. So then I start coughing sometimes because of it. But okay. Water rights, the Colorado River. So when I was in Utah, I lived in Cedar City, but just south of us was a town called St. George. And that's right near, there's a 3-corner area where Nevada and Arizona and Utah meet. And St. George is very desert. Okay. We were in Cedar City's a high desert. It's 5,000 feet, like the same as Denver. Or 5,280, I believe, is a mile. It's like 1 mile high for elevation. But there's then it drops, and St. George is then part in the the north end of the Sonoran Desert, where technically Cedar City's in the Great Basin. Anyway, not like you want to know all about geology. Or I guess that would be geography, biomes, and all that kind of stuff. Women's Month here in March. Wonder if that includes women with junk too. I know. I'm just waiting for feminists to throw a fit, because technically how can you have International Women's Day anymore if there's no genders? But I guess anybody gets to be whatever they want. So anybody can celebrate Women's Day as a woman. But I don't know. Does it negate? I'm not a feminist, but I respect people who are. I don't care. And but so many achievements are supposed to be looked at and honored in this like Women's Month or International Women's Day, and I don't know. I don't know. It's an issue. I mean, I have friends that are everybody. Okay, I don't care what you do as an adult. Kids, no, all right. But as adults, I don't care. Close your bedroom door. I don't care what goes on, as long as it's consensual, adult and consensual. All right. Yay! So, St. George, I'm getting to a point with the Colorado River. So, I have to tell you about Utah. Utah existed before it became a state. All right. And the Mormons, you know, were there. John Smith or whatever. And actually some amazing stories about those pioneers. You know, any pioneers, I don't care what religion you were, to cross the entire country or most of the country. If you went to California from New York, you crossed the entire country, right? But even from Missouri to Utah on foot, it's just amazing. And the struggles and the hardships that they went through, I have total respect for pioneers. So anyway, since that's kind of when Utah's history, except for the Native Americans, right? The Utes and the Paiutes and all this. But I mean, the white man history started with pretty much Joseph Smith. You might have had some outposts that were along the Oregon Trail cutting through Utah. But otherwise, it was pretty much Native American until Joseph Smith came. So the Mormons pretty much control Utah. They had to give up polygamy in order to become a state, I believe. And they wanted to become a state because of the Transcontinental Railroad meeting, and they knew that they had to get on board or get left behind. And they wanted to be on board with the United States. So they had a revelation from God that polygamy was no longer needed, and they joined the statehood. They got their statehood. But they still have this mentality that this land was given to us by God, and we can do anything we want to with it. Okay, that's the foundation for what I'm going to tell you. So St. George has golf courses and suburban lawns in the friggin' Sonoran Desert. Now, the evaporation rate on not only golf courses and lawns and swimming pools, but if you're using sprinklers instead of like turning a hose and like just letting it flood the grass, but you're actually using a sprinkler, then that evaporation rate is like incredible. It takes an incredible amount of water. Plus the urban sprawl that was happening, and the more people needing drinking water and flushing toilets and everything, right? So there's a river called the Virgin River that goes from, I believe, the Green River. The Green River starts in Colorado, comes down, and then joins the Green River and the Colorado River merge some point just before or near the Grand Canyon. I need to take a drink of water. Yeah, they had to ban polygamy by law, but they still practiced it. Oh, yeah, Joseph Smith. Let's go build a golf course in the desert. Who cares if there's no water for anyone else? Exactly. Just wondering, people could be who they want. Oh yeah, don't understand piping water to a desert to grow a lawn and grow produce. Yeah, you guys are all on. You guys are all on top of this. Okay. So I worked at a hot spring that was on the Virgin River, that bubbled up underneath the Virgin River. There was a little cave off to the side that it bubbled out of, and so they made like some pools, and then it went back into the river, and and they had to get rid of this guy had that. This hot spring was used by Cortez when he was like being an explorer looking for El Dorado and the city of gold. It was used by the Native Americans when they had a war and they were fighting each other and they were injured. They could all go to this spring, like it was like a truce area, because it was for healing. So you're an injured warrior, it doesn't matter which side you're on, you're welcome to come and heal and then go back to the battlefield to fight, right? But while you're there, all are welcome. And I mean, the spirituality of this place was amazing. Well, St. George. Oh, wait, another piece of background for those who don't know. In the United States, there is a part of the government called the Army Corps of Engineers. They are in charge of all infrastructure. So if you want to build a bridge, or you want to build a pipeline, or you want to build a highway, whatever, you have to go through the Army Corps of Engineers and they have to approve it. Okay, so they didn't tell anybody, and they built a pipeline from the Green River, which is a tributary into the Colorado, across the desert, alongside the Virgin River, into St. George, so that they can siphon off all that water before. So they're siphoning water that would end up in Lake Mead. Lake Mead being for Las Vegas, Los Angeles, and Phoenix, who are already fighting all over. Those three big cities are already fighting over it, right? And this was back when I was there. 2003, I graduated and left. So this is before 2003, right? That they were building this pipeline. And I've gone on Google Earth and I've looked and I've followed, and I can see where that pipeline is. And it goes right next to that hot spring, and that's why they forced that guy out that owned it and that ran the Patempe hot springs. And anyway, yeah, talk about water wars, and I alerted the Sierra Club. I wrote them a letter. I said, look, this is going on. Somebody needs to look into this. They're building it without any permission from anybody. All right. They're making a transgender woman of the year. Yeah, they were fake feminists. Okay. What's a fake feminist? We came a long way, baby. Oh, that's a Virginia Slim's marketing for the cigarettes because of that, but it was like feminists. Yeah. In my opinion, a true feminist stands up for babies in the womb and the voiceless. That was Gloria Steinem's era. Yeah. The suffragettes and stuff like that and everything. Butchered her last name though. Oh yeah, the spell. I know you mean Gloria Steinem. Yeah, that's how you pronounce it. Okay, caught up with chat topic. Okay. They've turned the transgender thing into all about sex. It's not about the person, it's about sex. Yes, that's sad. That, yeah. Whoopi Goldberg was saying how it's perfectly fine for parents to take their babies or their little children to bars and all that implies. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, definitely not little children, but to be honest, if you've got a baby that doesn't know where they are, if you're not passing the baby off to people, like, here, hold my baby while I go out and dance or drink, and so you're handing your baby over to some stranger that could go take your baby into the bathroom and do bad things to it. that would be bad. But like, let's say you're nursing and you and your husband want to go to the local bar and have a drink. Quite frankly, why not have your baby with you? Your husband's drinking beer, you're drinking soda. The baby wakes up a little bit, you just nurse it with a little towel over you or something. I know that sounds weird, but yeah, because we can all have different opinions. So I mean, I guess it's against the law. I was a bartender. We never had any babies in there, but just theoretically, yeah, I would if I owned a bar, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I used to go to Christian concerts and take my kids when they were babies, and that was kind of loud music and everything. Lake Mead's almost dried up as well. Lake Mead, whoa, it's bad at Lake Mead. I watch videos all the time about it. Parenthood, how people raise their kids is another PC topic now. Always has been. Went off on a tangent. Yeah, Shelly. Well, it's a safe place. You can go off on a tangent here. It's okay. You know, I've always felt. I mean, let's talk about abortion. Back in the day, I linked hands with other people in front of abortion clinic. Well, in Modesto, in front of the abortion clinic, and also still be silent because you say something obnoxious about these topics. So no problem, Amelia. In fact, Amelia, hang on because you're probably going to say. So back then, and I always believe, even today, like with the cats, you never say no to a cat. You give a yes to a cat. So if you want no to this behavior, you do something that's a yes with the cat to train them away from the other behavior to the new behavior. And it's kind of like that. So I was very active with a woman who was starting a not a clinic, but like Planned Parenthood, but like to give advice, to give pregnancy tests, to give counseling, with a more Christian perspective, so there's an option, right? So if women want to go down one street to Planned Parenthood, they can, but if they would prefer like to just have a pregnancy test and maybe have a different perspective, that option's available to them, right? No law forcing you to you have to close one down and only have the other one open, right? There's room in free market for everything. So providing that option, right, and helping with resources if you're kicked out, you're unwed. I mean, teen pregnancy was a huge problem. So maybe you're kicked out, your family kicked you out because you're 15 and pregnant or 13 and pregnant. Helping you find resources and a shelter to go to and things like this. Okay, so just so you know my background, I've been involved with it. I've come to the perspective that I haven't changed my feeling about an unborn baby at all, but legally in everything, and the politics of it and the legalness of it, I honestly feel that nothing is going to change until it's women who say it's my choice, right? That they care about their choice, that they care about their body, that they realize that the truth needs to come out. You don't talk about, well, this is what happens to the baby, because they don't care. No, and Amelia, I'm not saying you or anything like this, but some people, they don't care whether it's a baby or not. It's like it's not the right time, and it's better if I take care of the situation now, right? Better than having an unwanted pregnancy and having a child grow up in a bad home. Okay, all right. Let's accept your premise. You care about your life and your body, a woman's life and a woman's body. The reason it continues is because the truth isn't being said about what happens to a woman's body when she has an abortion, about the number of deaths of women that are hidden up, that the coroners are signing death certificates saying it's, it's, hemorrhaging. She died of like hemorrhaging and blood loss, but not saying that blood loss was because she had an abortion, because it's private. And it's almost like by law, the coroner cannot say that she had an abortion, because then, even though she died already, the family can't find out that she had an abortion, and that's why she bled to death, right? So there's this huge cover-up on what happens to women, not only physically, which there's a lot physically, but emotionally. There's a lot of PTSD. We talk about PTSD, right? It was just soldiers. Now everybody's got PTSD. There's a lot of trauma that women who've had abortions carry with them. And until so that's how you break the demand. When people realize that, yes, it's hurting women, and maybe there's other options that will be okay. Because before, I think there was a lot of shame about maybe being unwed, or maybe you're married, but it's like it's not the right time, or maybe you're in an abusive, maybe it's incest, whatever, right? And there's a lot of different reasons why women want to have an abortion, why women don't want anyone to know they got pregnant as well, so anyway, so there, I've said my opinion on it. And so it's all right, Amelia. Okay. Amelia, I can assure you that I have to moderate myself with Shelly Ray. And I think that Shelly, she's probably already mentioned, as we said, we want to take bets now, that she's probably already mentioned that I hope so, that you're still welcome here, and everybody is. Okay, I've got to that. You can say whatever you want to hear. You don't get blocked. Yeah, I'm not going to block anybody. From what I see, yeah. Oh, I think, yeah. See, Shelly, immediately after Amelia said, I can assure you that I have to moderate myself, Shelly. And Shelly says, oh, I think I'm catching your drift. Yeah. Unstable Mabel, I vote pro-choice, but for me personally, with my kids, I'm pro-life. It's any woman's choice. Yeah. Okay. I'm pro-life and proud of it. I don't condemn, but the law has made it very easy. Yes. And there have been, I don't think it's the majority, but there are women who use abortion as a form of birth control. So they just have all the sex they want. They don't care if they get pregnant, because they're just going to have an abortion. So what the statistics are, you might have one and never have another one again, or you might have had like 6 or 7. But it's very rare that someone has 2 or 3 or 4. It's usually one extreme or the other. That you had one and it was so traumatic that you never speak it. It's buried. It's a whole thing. Or it's like you've buried it in a way that, like, there's no conscience about it. It's okay. I survived. It was fine. It took care of the problem. And if the problem comes up again, then I know what to do, because this worked perfectly. Right? It's usually, statistically, it's usually one way or the other. I know, Shelly, all I know is that when I go before God, I'm not going to say, yeah, I'm so proud of myself for helping people kill their kids. Yeah. Well, yep. And there's no right answer, is there? Correct, Amelia. In that, I mean, I think sometimes there are absolutes in the world, but sometimes there's a lot of I used to be very black and white, black and white, black and white, and I recognize that there's a lot of gray. Some people, I know some people that it's like everything's gray. There is no black and white. I think that's too far the other way. I think there is black and white, but there is also a lot of gray in some areas. Like, I think all of us here can probably agree that pedophilia is wrong. I think that's like a black and white issue. No pedophilia. No pedivorce. Eating the children. You know, there are some things I think we could probably all agree with as a civilized society that are black and white. However, there is a lot of gray. And like I said, I believe that this issue isn't going to change based on the babies, even though I do believe that. But it's not something that if I'm talking about abortion, that's not going to be my main point. My main point is the woman. Okay, let's start with that premise right there. The woman, and as I just said, I don't need to repeat it again. We can agree to disagree. Yep. And to you, there's a right answer. I'm only responsible for myself, and what I do or feel, only God can judge. Yep. Can have a first trimester termination in New Zealand or a later term termination for medical reasons. Yeah. And in most of America, I think it's really, there's a lot of third trimester that are legal now, and certainly second trimester. We aren't repopulating the world, and that's a whole other can of worms. Oh yeah, population, depopulation. Yeah, that's a big subject. We could talk about that sometime if you want. Chalet is hardcore, and I love her for that. Absolutely. I love all of you. People that say that our population is unsustainable are working for the wrong side. Yeah. And I think what it is it certain lifestyles that are unsustainable. And in particular, let's take meat, for example. I'm personally a omnivore. I eat vegetables and I eat meat. We're only down to one eyeball. I don't know who's still here. There's a lot of comments. You guys are on fire. Oh my gosh. What was I going to say about like eating meat and stuff? The population. Yeah, if we eat too much, eating meat for me is okay. But if we eat too much meat, then we're killing more animals. Then we have to farm the animals in a way that's like not humane for them. And I hate the word humane now because humans aren't nice sometimes. It's almost like, I don't know what word we can use. Peaceful, like non-torturous. And then you get these horrible practices for the animals. But that doesn't mean we can't eat meat. It just means maybe we should eat less of it, right? Spouting off about what I heard. I don't know the opposite of life is death. I won't back down from what I believe just to be popular. Research the abortion boats in Ireland. Okay. I'm guessing that because Ireland, just like Cambodia is very is a Buddhist nation, Ireland was a Catholic nation. So I'm sure for a long time abortions were illegal, and in the same way it was done for a lot of different reasons, like gambling, or radio stations were put on boats off the coast, and things that you would make a medical. I would hope that it's like a larger boat with a medical facility and not just a rowboat going out, but going into international water so you can have your abortion. I'm guessing that that's what that would be about. I'm not talking about a regular bar where they serve food. Is that how long ago you made that comment? Was when we were talking about the bars and the babies? They're destroying our land and water so we won't be able to sustain, but not because of anything we did. Oh, this is true, like with all the derailments and everything. Thank you. I've been censored and beating up any other place. Oh, don't worry about it. In the, like de nada, it's nothing, right? De nada in Spanish. In Khmer, it's apanyaha. It means no problem. No problem. Apanyaha, apanyaha. People are still going to have abortions whether they're legal or not. Yes, and that's dangerous, you know. But kind of what I was talking about too is that even the legal ones are still dangerous, right? Maybe the only thing that's different is like sanitizing the instruments first or something, because the whole concept of the coat hanger and the back door and stuff, abortions were pretty much illegal abortions would be performed by a doctor through the back door. And now that same doctor is performing that same procedure. I mean, when the law first changed, right, became legal in the 70s, then the women just entered the front door to the same doctor, to the same procedure with the same instruments. Now you have big clinics and things like this. But yeah, when the law first changed, it was just the same doctors, and the same procedure. So it wasn't any safer, really, because that whole coat hanger thing was like really extreme. That didn't happen so often. I'll speak up for those that can't say a thing. That's what they do with them. Had abortion been legal when I was a kid, I may not be here. It's really amazing that my mom was really young when she had me, and but I guess she didn't think about having an abortion. She did get married. When are you? I lost so-called friends because I had my son and wasn't married. They weren't really my friends. My son was a gift from God. Yeah, see, my mom did get divorced when I was like 4 years old, right? So like 1970. Oh yeah, so they weren't legal when I was born. I was born in 66. But she was married anyway. But she got divorced, which also has stigma, right? So to be a single mother and divorced in 1970, kudos to my mom, Hey, Andy, you're back again. It's ridiculous, Mabel. That's legalism. Oh, that people, oh, that the friends left because you had your son and weren't married. Yeah. Those types, Jesus did away with the law. This is true. I'm speaking for the women who will suffer from these decisions. Yes, exactly what I was talking about. Why does it only say one person here? I know, but now it's back to 4. People don't just walk away from having one and be truly happy. Andy Garcia, blah, 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 blah. Well, the abortion topic probably drove everyone away. I hope not. I believe in discourse. I still believe, okay? I believe that people can have differences of opinion and not have all this stupid cancel culture stuff, right? Can we agree that we can have opposite opinions and it's okay? Yes. Okay. Yeah, the people. Okay. Not talking rapes in incest, which is very rare. Yes, but I've heard of people that were raped and were victims of incest that had their children, and they felt it would have been more traumatic to have had an abortion than to have given birth to the baby. Whether some have chose to keep it and love the baby even through the circumstances, because they don't hold the baby guilty for the crimes of the father, and other people that gave the baby up for adoption that were satisfied that they made that choice. Okay. Birth control is either free or very low cost in New Zealand. That's good. Number of people. Oh, am I at the end? Wow. Saw the number 1 and wondered that too. I know, I saw it too. God will forgive you. That's fine, Shelley. God will forgive all of us for everything. Let me tell you guys a story. I was a waitress at Denny's in Modesto, and I wasn't working the graveyard shift, but the one right before that, the what do you call that? That evening shift. So you come in after the lunch rush, but before the dinner rush, and you work the dinner rush, and then until like 11 o'clock or midnight, right? There's a name for it. Come on, you guys, help me. Andy, you're awesome at this. I know you're awesome at music, but you're like you swing shift. Swing shift. Okay, if you guys are writing, it's okay. Keep writing and hit send. It's all right. I'll give you credit. Um, so I loved working swing shift, and there would be after the dinner rush, you'd have some slow times where you could chat with people. You got good. Wait. Like I said, women stand up for women. I don't get twisted like it got, and don't get me started on Margaret Sanger. I know. It got big girl pants. All right. So this isn't about abortion. This is a different topic. Okay. So there was this one guy who regularly came in, maybe not every night, but maybe once a week or twice a week, and we would have really, really amazing conversations. And he was gay, and I was Southern Baptist, or at least when I left Southern Baptist, then I went to American Baptist. So it was between the two at that time, probably at Southern Baptist. And he was gay, and so I think he lived in San Francisco, but he would travel through. So maybe it was weekly, and he would come. Oh, I think okay. So you know how you've got the Castro Street area, or back in the day. Okay, back in the day, Castro Street was the really gay area. And gay, can I please just say gay inclusively? All right, lesbians, trans, drag queens, whatever. Okay, I'm just gonna inclusively say gay. Wait. Oh yeah, and you've got cotton candy. uh, had a few abortions with a girlfriend. You were young, thought it was the right thing. Years later, my grandma had a dream about me and a lot of babies. And at that moment, you knew it was wrong. Wow, Andy, thank you for sharing that. That is so personal and so vulnerable. Thank you. And yeah, we all make the best decisions that we can at the time with the information that we have. And that's one of the reasons I was involved with that girl that opened the pregnancy clinic. That's what they called it, because it was giving people because Planned Parenthood is very known for being biased in their advice toward abortion. Okay, I think that's pretty much established that if you are a married woman and happy to be pregnant, but this was before you had the pee on the stick things, right? You had and you couldn't afford a doctor's visit. You could go to the free clinic to get the pregnancy test and find out if you were pregnant, and you would be happy if you were pregnant. Yet once you go into a Planned Parenthood clinic, they were very biased about trying to get you to have an abortion for any reason, and that's why having the other pregnancy clinic, women would have a place that they could come for a pregnancy test, and yes, it would probably be biased against abortion, but yet the policy of the clinic was that if somebody was like they came in, they got their free pregnancy test, and they said, I want information about an abortion, we'd say, well, you can go talk to the other clinic down the street or whatever, right? But if you would like information about this or about that, we'd be happy to share that with you. But they weren't gonna like not let somebody get an abortion either, but they would provide information for them. Anyway, I'm trying to get off that subject for a minute. But hey, it's rambling. So if you guys want to keep on it, then I'm here for you. I've known people that have had an abortion that ruined their lives. Yeah, apologies, dyslexic. It takes a while to read, scrolling text, compose a response in my mind, and then type it out, especially when the brain is running on morning half speed. Yeah, Amelia, I get you. I cry sometimes daily over all my effort into the children I have now. Oh, Andy. I just want to pray and lift you up right now, Andy, in the name of Jesus. That your heart be comforted, that your guilt be lifted, that Jesus has forgiven you, and you have a new family now that you can put your effort into, and he just that you feel blessed by God, and you feel his peace, and that you move forward in love. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay. Yes, we can't go by the rule of law. We need common sense. There are areas of gray. Kind of strange how they like to call it a fetus, and until they want it, then it's a baby. Yeah, it's all you can do, Andy. We're with you, Andy. Men could also not impregnate women. I'm not sure. I think your morning half brain is left something out there. You mean like if men could not impregnate women, or something? I think there's more to that thought, or maybe you've got some dots. Okay, so you got more coming. Misworded that. My apologies. Didn't mean to be insensitive. Yeah. Believe me, my very and Andy, I hope you didn't get offended by that Amelia's first post, but like as you guys all saw in live real time when I read her comment, I knew there was something missing. So Amelia, feel free to slowly retype what you were trying to say, and we will embrace your opinions as well. Okay, back to the story about Denny's. And I don't think this guy was a drag queen, but there were also like there would be drag queen conventions in Modesto. So I was gonna say Modesto was kind of like this getaway from Castro Street. So they all lived in Castro Street, but when they needed a break, it was only like an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on how fast you drive. I used to drive like 90 between Modesto and San Francisco, and I could get there in an hour. Yeah, my 69 Chevy Nova. But, I think there's a statute of limitations. I think normally it takes about 2 hours. So they would go for holiday, for their little getaways to Modesto. So Modesto was becoming quite a little gay scene, a little mini gay scene, right? Remember, gay is being inclusive. And so this guy was a regular. We would have these really in-depth conversations. And one time we, what I don't remember exactly. I don't remember any of the rest of the conversation, but what he said was that, does God forgive sin? Yes. And he's like, is there any degree of sin, or is all sin equal in God's eyes? Yeah, if you miss the mark and you're outside of the target, there's not like today's targets in archery where there's rings and rings and rings and you get different points depending on how close you are to the bullseye. Before, it used to be there was a bullseye and everything else was white. And it didn't matter if you were, an inch away from the bullseye or a foot away from the bullseye, that area was called sin. That's where the word sin in English comes from, right? Or at least maybe it originated even before that, but archery used the word sin to describe that area. And I'm like, yeah, all sin is sin. There's no degrees of sin, not like the Catholic Church where there's like kind of degrees of sin. No, it doesn't matter whether you're gossiping or murdering somebody. It's all the same. Okay, so we agreed on that. And then he goes, so if I recognize that my homosexuality is a sin, then God's going to forgive it just like he does anything else. And I'm like, yeah. It's very interesting conversation and perspective. Now, and also, what a milestone, like a marker between then, which would have been 1984, 5, 6, to now, where I was born this way, this is the way God made me, blah, 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 okay? Where back then, this guy knew what he was doing was wrong, but in the same way that none of us is perfect. And we all have some sin in our life because we're not perfect. And so his sin happens to be that he's gay. And therefore, how can I judge him as opposed to somebody that's doing something else? We're not supposed to judge in that way. And it just blew me away. Because I couldn't argue the logic. Through Christian faith, I could not argue the logic. I don't think a lot of today's community, like I said, is of the same mind that he was. But I had a lot of respect for him. Absolutely. He was a good tipper too. So that was good. So let's see. Andy said thank you to Amelia, that she apologized that she worded that wrong and it probably sounded bad. And then Amelia has an emoji, which I'm not sure is a girl. What is that? Is that a head pen, or is it like wiping your eyes for crying, or I'm not sure. Chalet, yes, Andy, the fact that you feel badly about it says a lot. Jesus loves you and knows your pain, and your baby is in heaven. Babies, yeah. And then LOL. So Amelia's doing. So I think maybe that's a facepalm emoji. No, not at all, Amelia. All good. Okay. Thanks for sharing, Andy. It's very nice to have a man's perspective. Absolutely. Yeah. Sometimes you get too many men around. A woman is in the middle of too many men. It's like, oh, all the testosterone. Well, poor Andy's like surrounded by estrogen. Oh, for anybody who's, I don't know if I got any left. But whatever. Do we have a problem? Am I just too much? Chalet, you're okay. But maybe just like say it like once or twice and not 5 times or something. I don't know. But it's good to have the conversation going. I'm okay. Of course not, Chalet. I respect you for picking a side and sticking to it. Yeah, absolutely. Come, let us reason together. Exactly. Reason, share logic, yeah. And respect each other while doing it. Big love, Shelly Ray. Say your say. Yeah. Yes, my mother told me it had been legal, if abortion had been legal, your brother may not be here because she was 16. Your mom and dad got divorced when you were 4 as well. Ah, yeah, sister. It's a face palm. Okay. Roses. Happy Women's Day. What's with the face, Amelia? What are you face palming about? About her, like, her morning half brain, which she's probably slowly typing right now. right? But her morning half brain is like getting her in trouble, and so she's face palming. Yeah. Wow, I'm all caught up. You're showing that emoji as a face palm. Yeah, I think she was wondering why you were face palming. I don't know. You could just say, "Yeah, Maven, you're right," or like, "No, I meant I was face palming because of this." Showing that this emoji is a face palm. Oh, yeah, I already read that. We got 6 eyeballs. Welcome to whoever's new. You don't have to chat if you don't want to, but if you'd like to, you're welcome. Chat is delayed here. Ah, okay. Okay, I just like to know so there's no assumption. Hey, good. Absolutely. Make sure that we're clear, so that everybody has a chance to express whatever they want. Almost 11 o'clock here, 11 o'clock at night, which means Eastern time is 11 o'clock in the morning. Now, when you guys go through your daylight savings time, which we don't, then we will no longer be exactly switch AM PM between Eastern Standard Time and Cambodia. And don't ask me if it's 1 hour, like your 12 o'clock is my 11 o'clock, or your 12 o'clock is my 1 o'clock. I don't know which way it goes. We'll have to wait until after you guys change your clocks, and then we'll know. Because I'm not going to think that hard. I'm not going to Google it or anything like that either. I don't care. It's totally irrelevant to my life. Because, we don't have to synchronize. We don't have to work that hard to synchronize anymore, because YouTube will tell us when the live is going to be or whatever in our own time zone, right? So we got it easy. Mabel's mom got preggers at 17, and sometimes I wish she didn't eliminate me because I was crucified for ruining her life. Hey, I wasn't the one who screwed and got myself pregnant. You wish she didn't eliminate you? But that's what happened. She didn't eliminate you. You're here. You mean sometimes you wish she did eliminate you because you were crucified for ruining her life. That would make sense. Great movie. Which movie? I don't remember which movie. Which movie? I don't know which movie you're talking about. Or you mean Mabel's life would be a great movie. Maybe that's what you mean. Well, I'm very happy you're here, Mabel, and so are your kids. And your grandkids. Yes, I agree. And all our fur babies. And our water babies. I've been taking the dogs for a walk over to the new house and letting them run around in the garden. They love it. They absolutely love it. In fact, I think I did make a video, but then I'm not sure. I have to watch it and make sure that it doesn't give away the location. And if it doesn't give away the location, then I can show them running around a little bit. That's right. Had it backwards. Okay. Yeah, I can sort it out. Speak however you want. I'm not woke. It's the difference between being woke and being awake. I think you've been awake enough that you're coherent, at least. Me, I've been up all day. I slept good last night, though. No cat pee in the bed. That happened the other day. Went to get brand new sheets on the bed. Well, I mean, as in washed. And I crawl into bed. Oh, I went to throw back the comforter, and when I put my hand on it to throw it back, it was like wet. They had peed in that corner on my bed. I'm like, oh, man. So I took off. Oh no, I didn't take it off. Oh, but they peed on the comforter over the pillow. So the pillow absorbed all the pee, and then so I threw that pillow off the bed. I was really ticked off. And then I took the comforter and I turned it around so that pee corner would be on the other corner, far away from me. I was tired. I was ready for bed, you know, and slept like that. Can we Mabel, we love you so much, sweetheart. Oh, what is being woke? Okay, that is. Uh, it's funny because both sides use it. All right, like your Democrats and your Republicans, or your liberals and your conservatives, and everything. So on the one side, like in the way Shelley's using it, I think Shelley is that woke more commonly depends on what echo chamber you're in, right? So when we're talking, woke means somebody who's like a social justice warrior, and all the Karens and all the cancel culture and all those people that are, being gender fluid, and because they're awakened to their new reality, right? That's kind of what it is. So the other side, like when Q was popular and really rising, like you take the red pill or the blue pill because of like the Matrix, and or the black pill, and you're woke if you're like you were a sheep and you were asleep, and now your eyes are open to reality, then you're open to all the Q stuff, right? Then you're woke because you're awoke, like just woke. So it can be used on both sides. There you go. But I'm sure Chalet's talking about all the cancel culture, and then the political correctness, and you can't say this and you can't say that, and you're going to get shadow banned, and you're going to get strikes, and you're going to get this and that and everything because the people, yeah, woke and awake, yeah. Also, people that have work there I've come out and said they gave low doses of the pill to customers. So you're talking about people that have worked at abortion clinics say that they give a low dose. Oh, evil. Because okay, got it. Because what you're saying is that people at someplace like Planned Parenthood that have worked there and have become whistleblowers have said that when they were giving contraceptive pills to women, because they come for reproductive health, and so they go to get the pill, that they were actually giving them a messed up dose of the pill so that they would get pregnant, so that then they would come and have the abortion. Yeah, that's nasty. I think even somebody who's pro-abortion would agree that that's wrong. You don't mess with women like that, or anyone. If men had a pill to take, you wouldn't mess with them that way either. That's just wrong. Low doses to teenagers, knowing they would be a repeat customer. Yeah, you're a rainbow warrior. Okay, that's good. Like I said, I've had friends of all walks. There was on Castro Street, there was a candy shop, like fudge and stuff, but an independently owned fudge candy place, and they had rose fudge, like made with real roses and rose oil, and it was pink colored, and I wanted to get some for my grandmother, and it was called the Tooth Fairy, I think. I have to look it up and see if it's still there. It was right on Castro Street. In fact, I went there to get it for my grandmother, and it just happened to be the Gay Pride Day, which was very localized to just Castro Street. It wasn't something international like it is now. And that was an experience. But that's okay. And I think woke is social justice, and awake is now aware of full corruption and straight truth is hidden. Right. So since woke was being used for both, now, so Andy, you're saying that, as I explained it, woke being used for both of those perspectives, that then now they're changing, like the MAGA side of things is saying awake, that you're awake. Okay. My son used to be a Karen. An automatic whack went to his face. I'm no damn Karen. Oh, you mean, yeah, your son called you a Karen, and you whacked his face. I'm no damn Karen. I admit it. My ex-husband would actually say to me, like, if we were at a business that we weren't happy with something, he would say to me, "Sick him," and I would go on a Karen rant. Yeah. Thank God there was not social media. There weren't cell phones or anything like this back then. I'm not proud of it, but I was good at it. I was really good at it, but I'm not proud of it. And one time, we were at the car dealership getting the car worked on. I went off on the manager at the car dealership. He turned and he walked away. Didn't say a word to me. Left me there screaming. And then I realized how stupid I was. And I apologized. And I think I was more careful after that. Greenpeace. When I was in high school, well, even junior high and into high school, I was so into Greenpeace and the harp seals and everything. And I always felt like if you're a village and you need to kill a seal to eat the meat and to use the bones and use the sinuous thread and and cook the fat for the oil, or whatever, however you do that, and you're using the whole animal and you kill it in a non-torturous way, then I'm okay with that. But the industry of clubbing seals and having a dead seal, that's crying for its mother or whatever, that's laying there skinned, or it's skinned and you think it's dead and then it starts crying for its mother. Yeah, no, that's not right. And I was like really big into that. I still have like stuffed harp seals and pictures of harp seals and stuff. It used to give me a really high dose of the pill. It messed with your body badly. I'm sorry about that, Mabel. Yeah, some women can't take it. Yeah. Rainbow warrior has nothing to do with gender or sexuality. This is one of the reasons I struggle with conversations sometimes. Cultural differences. No problem. Yeah, no problem, Amelia. That's okay. You're still welcome here. Rainbow warrior is a social justice warrior in front of a keyboard as well as behind it. Yeah. And Amelia, just so you know, and I totally respect, and I know you. Let me say this. I know you through the interactions on my channel and other channels, and so I know you're an amazing person. There are some people who have given the social justice warrior label a bad name. Just like there's people that have given Christians a bad name. There are people that have given, liberals or Democrats or conservatives or Republicans, they get a bad name because of the actions of a few, and so there are definitely people who look at social justice warrior or rainbow warrior as a dirty word. You know, I'm not saying that's the case here, and you're welcome here, but you should be aware that it does have that connotation sometimes. Especially like with the millennials and stuff. I don't know how, Amelia, if you don't mind me asking, I'm kind of thinking that you're our age. I'm 56. I think Amelia and Mabel are like around the same age, and Andy, I think you also are a Gen Xer. Yeah, if because I don't want to say anything offensive about millennials if you are one. But even the millennials are welcome here because we can all disagree on things and still talk about it and share our opinions. It's okay here. Yes, awake can clearly see wrong and right, and no longer asleep with the herd of sleepy sheep being led by wolves. Yeah, well said, Andy. I'm pretty sure there's one something to do with blasphemy. One sin, one. Oh, I missed whatever you're. Okay, good for you, Chalet. I have no idea what you're referring to, but yeah, blasphemy's not good. First Greenpeace boat is named Rainbow. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're totally right. That was my days. We're talking 78, 79, 80, 80. The early 80. Okay. Junior high for me was 78, 79. 80 to 84 was high school. So, yeah, the Rainbow Warrior was out there doing its thing. I wanted to be on it. I wanted to go out there. But then I started to be honest, to kind of see a little bit of a radical side sometimes with Greenpeace as an organization. Certainly not with the ideals, which I agree with, right? Saving the animals and stuff. But there, again, some people that can give it a bad name. Uh, Homosexuality is just a lifestyle. Well, a lot of people feel that way, and you know what? Like I said, consenting adults behind closed doors, I'm not gonna judge them. I'll let God judge them, whatever, but it's not my place. Oh, look at the cat! Wow, look at its eyes reflecting. Certainly not Mama Kitty. Mama Kitty only has one eye that reflects. She's blind in one eye. But from the normal light, it just looks the same. But like if it was like that, you would only see one eye reflecting. My guilty pleasure on YouTube is watching the Crazy Caravan. I love it. Have you seen ones about the people that missed their cruise ship and they're running to try and catch, but it's already, it takes a long time to kind of, for a cruise ship or any, a cargo ship, whatever, any kind of ship of that size to start moving. It takes a long time to get that start moving. Once it starts moving, there's no stopping it. You're not stopping for anybody. And that's a guilty pleasure too. We're all works in progress. Yes, we are. Even a bad thought is a sin. Thank you, Jesus, for covering them all. Absolutely. Thank you, Jesus, for your blood that has covered them all. I watched the Crazy Karens too. Yep. Just explaining the dual meanings in certain places. I know it's tiring, isn't it, Amelia? But you know what? We got it out of the way here. And it's no problem. If I wasn't a work If I wasn't a work in progress, Chalet, then I wouldn't have anything to strive to be better. There you go. Really, because you keep talking about it. What? Chalet? Talking about what? What? Or like, huh? Who keeps talking about what? What you talking about? What? Oh, how'd that go? The little black kid. Saying his bigger brother's name or something, or his father's name or something. What you talking about? What name? What name? What name? What you talking about? Alex, what you talking about? What name came after that? Greenpeace has changed a lot since then. However, there's still a group of New Zealanders who keeps to the original ethos. Good. Good, because the original ethos is needed. I'd shut up then. Shut up? For what? 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 What you talking about, Mabel? What you talking about, Chalet? We gotta, like, Willis. I knew Andy. I knew it would be you. I knew it would be you. What you talking about, Willis? Yeah. I'm gonna shut up because I'm not repeating myself. Okay, are we all getting tired now? Good luck shutting me up. You have to block me. Dunno. What? we have derailed the train. All right. I think we're all tired. My voice is going out. I should probably boil some water and have some water. Maybe I'm gonna watch a Karen video. Petty videos with Charlotte Dubray or whatever. Petty. Put in Petty and Charlotte, and the channel will probably come up. She's a few convos going on. Chillax, guys. Okay. Now, coffee for the chat intermission. Coffee. Where's the pop? I don't see any popcorn. Where's the popcorn emojis? Beautiful day out there. Maybe I'll get to see that dolphin. That was so cool. I hope so. And share the dolphin with us. Oh my goodness. I was watching a video about, okay, you had Timothy Leary, you had Ginsberg, the beatnik poet guy, Ginsberg, and there was a third guy that was the dolphin guy. I don't even remember his name after watching the video, but I guess the three of them were all into this mind consciousness, LSD kind of stuff, the three of them together. This dolphin guy was doing all kinds of experiments and believes about the aliens. Like, the aliens are going to come and the dolphins are going to be our interpreters. So that's why we need to learn to communicate with dolphins. Serious. I mean, in the 60s and 70s, serious. Did government-funded research with all the dolphins. Scary, kind of scary stuff, actually. And then a lot of movies and sci-fi books and things like this were kind of like made out of this guy's research. Well, Mabel, you didn't offend me. Amelia's not offended. And you're chilled. You're chilled, so don't assume that you're not. Yeah, we're all chill. We're all chill. It's good. It's all good. We got peace. We got chill. We've got sorries. It's all good. Maybe I need to turn up my instrumental music. Can you guys hear it? That's just a garden forest picture or something. Oh, there you go. It's okay. Let's get there. But you can't hear it if I hold it up there, can you? Ah, what is Generation X? Great question. Okay. So there are these various generations of people. So like every 40 years or so, with things going on in history and things like this, and generations tend to identify with each other about every 40 years or so. And so in our present day, the oldest generation right now is the baby boomers. So they were born right after World War II. Like the World War II ended in 45, so baby boomers like started in 46 or whatever. So, well, I mean, there's variations depending on who you talk to, right? As far as when the generation started. So maybe they started in the middle, 44 or something. I was born in 66, and I was like right on the edge, right? But maybe 65 counts it. So you had the baby boomers because the World War II ended, and all the soldiers came home. Baby boom, right? So that generation is called the baby boomers. They experienced growing up in the 1950s and being teenagers in the 1960s, right? So they kind of identify as a generation that way. Generation X then are their children, like me, and like those of us saying that we're Generation X. Yeah, we're pre-millennial because millennials come after us. So Generation X then had a lot of independence because what you had was maybe two parents in the home, or you had single families because divorce was more accepted, as Mabel and I were both saying, right? And but two parents were working in the home a lot. Two parents were working a lot, so we were left on our own. Number one, we were left on our own. Number two, we grew up with like TV. We grew up with music, like with MTV. So not just listening to music on the radio or having albums, which we had, but also having like MTV and having that visual. We had more games where baby boomers had like pinball machines. Gen X grew up with like Pac-Man and Star Wars, and like video games were new, right? Computers were new. A lot of Gen X had some exposure to computers, but not a lot. Microwaves were new. Nobody had microwaves before our generation, like in the home. Having portable music. The baby boomers had the 8-track, but the 8-track was pretty much only in a car. Whereas the cassettes, you could actually have in a cassette player or in a Walkman, which was having, and by the way, when I say cassette, I mean one of these, okay? Has this tape in here, the music is on that tape, or, well, whatever you record, could be voice. So we had the music. We could take the music we wanted with us, and so we weren't bound to whatever the radio had on or an 8-track in a car. So there's a lot of things that define Gen X. Our kids were born in the 80s and 90s, right? So the children born in the 60s and 70s are the Gen Xers. The children born in the 80s and the 90s are the millennials, our kids. Well, now where we had all this freedom to ride our bikes and go to the playground and stay out, our parents would tell us go outside and play and don't come back home until the lights come on, the street lights come on. We were the opposite. We like the whole helicopter parents kind of started with us because we knew all the trouble we got into, and so we were like really watching out for our kids, so, but they had a lot more TV, and the school system changed, and the school system was saying like that this is when it started to be everybody's a winner, nobody's a loser. It's all about feeling good. They give everybody, good grades because you don't want to fail anybody and hurt their feelings. This kind of stuff, right? Now, when the millennials started having kids in the 2000s, they became the Gen Z, who are adults now. And what are their kids going to be called? I don't know. So, let's see. And that's general. Different psychologists or sociologists or historians will say, oh, the date is from here to here. That's baby boomers, that's Gen X, that's millennials. And other ones might have it a few years different. Okay, so there's some variation on the exact years. What's Gen X? What a conversation that was. Talk about rambling. Okay, so that answers. So we went through baby boomers, Gen X, millennials, and Gen Z. Born after 2000 is, I think, more the Gen Z. There's a lot of crossover in the behaviors. I think the Gen Zs are less entitled feeling than the millennials. I think the millennials feel more entitled as a whole, not everybody. There's good millennials and there's good, yeah. Like my mom was a baby boomer. Yeah. Seen an old video about a Navy explosive delivery to an enemy ship placed by a dolphin, no porpoise. Did it the dolphin placed it on the ship and swam away? Or did it have to blow up with the ship? I know the Germans did that with dogs and the Russians did that with monkeys and stuff. Woke is politically correct. Yes, on one side. Because as I said, there's the two you got two different groups of people both using the word. But they both mean, for the person who's using woke as a positive for their side, it means that the eyes have been opened. That's why it's like awake, woke. You're woke. But then it's also become a but the opposite, if you're calling the opposite woke, then it's a dirty word. Is what it is. Born in 58 makes you a boomer. Andy! What? No! I thought you were 58, not born in 58. That's okay. We love you anyway. You can be a boomer. Boomers are welcome here. You're kind of on the cusp of the end of the boomers. And I'm the cusp of the Generation X. I was born in 66. So actually 8 years apart. But yeah, we kind of had a lot, obviously because of our conversations. We've had a lot of the same experiences. If you believe the mainstream media, you're woke. Okay. Latchkey children. Yes. The Generation X started the latchkey children. I was one. I had a key around my neck. My mom denies it. I think maybe she did not give me the key in the necklace. I think she just gave me the key and I put it on my necklace, because us Gen Xers like to think for ourselves and figure things out and figure out ways to do things that have never been done before. Yeah, you're a boomer, Andy. Yep. Just like I'm a cat lady. Gotta accept it. Born in 62 here, Andy. Don't think you are a boomer. Yeah, you feel like you identify more with the Gen X. And when you're on the cusp, that can happen. Star Trek, Johnny Quest, Color TV. Yeah. Yeah, you got some boomer experiences there too. I think that where you're at, you can identify with both sides. You can identify with the boomers, but you can also identify with the Gen Xers. And I'm actually kind of the same way because of reruns. So a lot of the shows and things that the boomers, like the Brady Bunch. I grew up on the Brady Bunch. That's was very formative for me. But yet it was actually it had stopped by the time I was watching it, and I was watching reruns. But yet it was part of my childhood, right? So I kind of get a little bit of crossover there. If you all just Google the generations, it'll tell. There's leeway both ways. Exactly. Shelley, he's a betweener. Like a believer? Who thought of that, believers? Uh, Correct, but I don't want to get back on the topic. Okay, Lord. Yes, give me that southern accent. A participation trophy. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're I'm behind in the comments. Yeah, exactly. They started doing that to like my kids, but they didn't do that to my generation. I can remember being 3 and I was running up and down the sidewalk. Exactly. Exactly. I have lots of memories before before preschool. Putting them in a book. Love people, hate the sin. There you go, Shelley. Agreed. I used to take the bus to go downtown as a kid in elementary school. Exactly. My mom denies some stuff. I think the stuff my mom denies, maybe she didn't actually give me permission for and didn't really know. Because, for example, if you're told to go out and play, until the streetlights come on, that gives you a pretty wide berth, right? So technically, you could hop on the bus and go downtown or something, right? You know, as long as you're back by the time the lights come on. um, One pivotal like way that I kind of tell time is that I had this friend named Brenda. I think it was Brenda Canasta or something. And I was like 12 when she moved into my apartment complex and we became friends. And that was like right, like the summer going into junior high. I became involved in the occult and witchcraft with her. We were like little best buddies, having our own little coven and things like this. Is why I know about like the occult side of things. Because you know me, I jump into a topic and I research. Back then, that meant going to the library and stuff. Whatever. I think I talked about this before. So anyway, pre Brenda, which means I was younger than 12, so maybe 10. I mean, even nowadays, 10, I would get on a bus that would go like an hour to Eastridge Mall. And we know malls, they're all the same all over the US, and probably New Zealand has malls now too. Um, but being Silicon Valley, we had one of the, I don't know what mall in history was the first mall, but Eastridge Mall was one of the first malls. And I I knew how to get on the bus and go to Eastridge Mall and go to Sears and buy the 33 records and go to Spencer's and like look at all the blacklight posters and stuff and then went home. My mom says she didn't let me do that, but I did. When I was 14, I used to take the bus to San Francisco. Well, I took BART. I took the bus to I had to take the bus to school that transferred at the BART station, which is the public railway kind of thing. And so I would get on BART and go to San Francisco and cut school. My freshman year in high school, 14, I'd go hang out in San Francisco for the day. My mom did not give me permission for that. Public school system, social construct, irrespective of what they do. This is true, and I homeschool my kids, so I know a lot about that. Mabel, you can go either way for boomer, or if you're definitely a late boomer. Late bloomer boomer. Okay, thanks. I understand better now. It's like being a yuppie. Oh, yeah. Yuppies were late late boomers. Not the early boomers, but the late boomers. They were before me. They were. So like I was in high school when the yuppies were having jobs, making money, right? And like in their 20s. So they would have been like late boomers. I'm glad you found something that I said funny because it's too late for me to know what you were laughing at. Your mom was born in 44. My mom was born in 46. If you tell on someone, you're telling them that you are a tattletale. my brain getting tired? It's like 11:30 at night here. If I'm being a tattletale and I'm telling on someone, then without saying the word tattletale, I'm telling everybody that I'm a tattletale because I tattled. Right? Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers that Peter Piper picked? Say that 5 times fast. Yes, dolphin attached it and then swam away. It was magnetic. So it just had to and then it got, okay, good. That's good news, Andy. Mom's born in 47. There you go. Yeah, our moms were boomers. So it's a social label behavior defined by each generation. Yes. Well said. And so true. Yes. Even more accurate than a horoscope. Apologies for the delayed chat. I live in the boonies. LOL. One cell phone tower that sometimes works. Hey, yeah, don't worry. It's okay. I remember how excited me and my sis were when my mom got us a black and white TV for our room. Exactly. Yeah, and it's like this, like a mini TV, and it was so cool because it was small. It would fit in our bedroom. It didn't have to be a big console with a record player in the top and everything. It didn't need a TV stand. You could put it right on your bookshelf. Yeah, I had one of those. Love many, trust few, always paddle your own canoe. Love it! You need a t-shirt like that. That's great. Okay. Oh, yes, we are all imperfect. A big problem is that Hollywood likes to make the Christian look bad and evil. The Christian just admit that they need Jesus. This is true. That Hollywood can pick on, except for Catholics, they will pick on Catholics, they will pick on Jews, they will pick on Muslims, or at least they used to, right? I mean, maybe now this is politically incorrect, right? They would pick, no, I mean, they couldn't pick on anybody else, but they could pick on the Christians. And they always would. Yeah, sorry. Got that backwards for a minute. All I know is I had to come home before the street lights. Yep. My mom never knew or cared where we were. Yep. And of course, believe and receive. Now, a side note on the mom. Now, and I know you kind of had a rough time, and like your mom probably like really didn't care. But for example, in my case, there was kind of like a community. The neighbors looked out for each other, and if you were told that this was your boundary, you have to, don't cross that street and stay between this boundary, then you pretty much did. Maybe every now and then you might try to like explore what's on the other side of this street or something. But for the most part, you stayed within the boundaries. Your parents trusted you to do that. Sometimes we earned that trust and sometimes we betrayed it. Believe and receive. Kids and grandkids are millennials. We love them. We just come from different generations. Some self-professed Christians are evil, ergo the mistrust, yes. And like close to you, Amelia, is that whole thing in Australia that like Nicole Kidman's family was part of, or whatever. Or even Christian Scientists sometimes, or are they? Is that the one that's in Hollywood? Scientology. Scientology likes to claim to be a Christian organization, and that's pretty evil. I might have been mumbling instead of rambling. Was I talking loud enough for you to hear me? Whoops, that was probably too loud. Post-Korean War was like the end of the boom time and the start of a new generation. The evil. Oh my gosh, that is Evils is actually the same letters as Elvis. I didn't realize that until I like. Anyway, Elvis, Beatles, Captain Kangaroo. Yeah, I remember Captain Kangaroo. X-15, Mach 1, Supersonic, Saw, Sputnik in the night sky. Everyone went outside to see it. So Cal also later Halley's Comet. In Southern California, you all went out to see it, and then later Halley's Comet. Yeah, I think I remember Halley's Comet coming around at some point in my life. I'm just thinking that, the Elvis and the Beatles were pretty boomers. That's boomer. That's solid boomer. Captain Kangaroo maybe started in the boomers, and because wasn't he in black and white TV first, and then he was like color TV by the time I was watching it. Just read that tattletale comment, Chalet. Guess I'm guilty as charged. May Jesus forgive me. That was from the Brady Bunch. Oh, the tattletale thing? I remember an episode about tattletales, vaguely. My dad was in the Korean War. Generation X was raised on TV. Absolutely. Marsha Brady. Isn't Marsha the one that got her nose hit by the football? It was from the movie The Brady Bunch, and Cindy was being a tattletale, and Mr. Brady said it. Yeah, Cindy was a tattletale. Because the common denominator is Jesus. Oops, never mind. Counting flowers on the wall, that don't bother me at all. Playing solitaire till dawn with a deck of 51. Yes, good one. We were pretty good. Smoking cigarettes and watching Captain Kangaroo. Oh, yeah. So smoking cigarettes and watching Captain Kangaroo. Now don't tell me I've nothing to do. Forgot all about those slumber parties? Slumber parties were big with my generation. I don't believe they truly are Christians if evil. Oh, well, yeah. And yeah, demons hiding as Christians. That's why you got to be careful. You have a discerning spirit. Any religion that tells you can be like God and you are God is false. Yeah, we're of God, and we need to try to be like Jesus. But yeah, good tune, Amelia. Yep. King of the Road, Roger Miller. Is that what it is? King of the Road. No. That's a different one. Andy. Ain't got no cigarette. Oh, I'm king of the road. Oh, maybe it is. Okay, never mind. Trailer for sailor and no. That other one. The Counting Flowers on the Wall is a different song, isn't it, Andy? King of the Road is trailers for sailor and da 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 da. La da 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 da. As I'm king of the road. Come on, give me the name for the other one. Counting flowers on the wall. Do 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 do. Singing along to Andy's comment. I'm not a demon, although my hubby may disagree. Andy's comment. I'm pretty sure I was in the 7th grade. Maybe I'm getting that mixed up with a solar eclipse or something. I know. We certainly all learned about Halley's Comet. If we didn't actually see it. We have to look at when's the last, when's it come around? I'm trying to check. Every 75 to 79 years. When is the last time it appeared? 1986. There you go, 1986. That's why so I was like 2 years out of high school. Where's my StreamYard? Where's my StreamYard? Oh wow, my instrumental music is 3 hours and it finished. Love the Brady Bunch, yeah, and the Waltons, and Little House on the Prairie. Oh, I mean, ding, 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 ding. Did anybody bet right? How many minutes was that I was talking about the answer when it was already there in the comments? Good one, Amelia. Yeah, not sure, maybe. That was fast, Amelia. Are you millennial or Gen Z? We had a lot of fun at those slumber parties. Oh yeah, because you had to have your own sleeping bag. Of course, everybody loved to go camping. I mean, most families, you had a time going camping, so you actually used it for camping, but then you also used your sleeping bag for the slumber parties, or at least I did most of the time. I mean, I guess there were some maybe that. Yeah, most of the slumber parties, we all had sleeping bags on the floor in the living room or something. If they had a basement, then you were really lucky. You'd take over the basement. But California, not everybody had basements. If you're eating babies and sacrificing people and all that, you're not a Christian. I think we all agree with you, Chalet. I think we can all agree. Yep. But I will say that some people that have been raised in a satanic family have purposely split the brain, not the brain, the mind, okay, into split personalities. And while one personality might be partaking in those activities, the other personality could be Christian and be completely unaware of what is going on when the other personality has control. Strive to be like Jesus, but we never will be. Yeah, but we do the best we can, step by step. My granddad's name was Halford, a masculine form of Haley. It was the rage in 1910. Wow. Ah, because Haley's Comet had come around, because 70 something year. Yeah. Oh, the poor dogs. I didn't take them for a walk before the live stream, so. Counting Flowers on the Wall is a different song. Yeah. But what song, Andy? Trailer for Sailor Brand. Yeah, that's the King of the Road one. Hey, I'm caught up. Okay. Yeah. It's getting there on time for me. King of the Road. I'm going to be king of the bed. Yeah. The dogs need to go for a walk. Quick walk. Statler Brothers Counting Flowers. Okay. You going to sing that one for us, Chalet? Am I going to see that next week on your channel? Does everybody have Chalet and Mabel's channels? Let me see. Where's Mabel? So here's Unstable Mabel. Just in case anybody needs them. There's Unstable Mabel. Let me get Chalet. And then Andy and Amelia, do you have channels that you use? I mean, do you actually post things? But my notifications. I'm not like have the little spinning wheel. Oh, spinning wheel. What comes up must come down. Oh, Bad Kitty, 3 hours ago. What did you do? Oh my god. Chile. Oh my gosh. Ophelia. No problem. So, you guys, here, this isn't a link to Chalet's channel. It's to one of her shorts, which you can then jump to her channel if you want. It's this, okay, she's had Cotton Candy Girl for a long time. Now she's got this kitten rolling in money with her face and her eyes as she's, ooh, you have to listen to it yourself. But I love it. I love all these crazy. What is it? Snapchat or like what? Or is it Is it part of YouTube? Described up unstable Mabel. Yeah, that's awesome, Andy. She doesn't really post a lot, but she shares a lot of personal things and just, gives us updates now and then about what's happening in her life so we can pray for her or whatever. And at Christmas, she did a couple. So, yeah, it's good. Didn't do any singing this morning yet. Counting flowers on the wall. Do, 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 do. Okay. So now everybody has all of that for each other. And Andy, there was no need to share your channel. I don't know if you have anything. Who was a conscientious objector? Grandfather? Oh, the 1910, born in 1910. Whoa, 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 whoa. Cat just jumped up here like a bullet. I don't know if you said it was probably outside the camera. I think there's a fly or something. He's chasing something. Hey, Lucky, it's okay, Lucky. What are you doing? What are you doing, little one? Oops, that light's there. Hey. Hey. Kitty, kitty. Don't worry, I got the TV tied up in the back through the iron, through the metal. I've got, because there's like a brace that's supposed to hook up to a mount in the wall. Ooh, look, they never use the tree. He's using the tree. Can you see the tree? Oh, there he goes. All done? You didn't get what you wanted to get? Wow, I don't know. I mean, it's like it was chasing something that must have gone into the window area. Now the dog's jumping up on the glass. Okay, King of the Road, that'd be good. Caused by trauma. What? Oh, he was different. Oh. Kind of crazy there, Amelia. The granddad. What? Oh, I missed that, Amelia. Now I know what they're talking about. He was born in 1910 with Haley directly overhead. Died in 1986 with Haley directly overhead, visible both times. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. OMG. Yeah, Mabel, you check if there's a candy girl or the fan. This is the first time I've seen the fancy kitty. I saw that like Spider Woman one or something, some kind of cartoon character. I didn't like that one. Didn't work as well. But the fancy kitty's funny. He was different, a conscientious objector. Yeah, some of my ancestors during the Civil War were conscientious objectors, and a preacher. Caused by trauma. What was caused by trauma? Oh, because you didn't do any singing this morning? King of the road, Queen of the road, Queen of the road. Sure, that'll work. Lucky, lucky, lucky Amelia. Chalet's channel is blowing up because of the Candy Girl. They get a chit load of tons, a chit ton of views. Now I don't want no, I don't do any posts. I can barely keep up with the few chats and channel comments. yeah, her channel's blowing up. You know me, just winning friends and influencing people. Isn't there a book title called that? Made me snort. Yeah. I will try to get some good pictures because there's always something happening in the water. Yeah. I'm always amazed at like how you find so many different little angles of things. Are you still here, Andy? Spinning wheels got to go round. Yeah, I like that song. What comes up must come down. Da 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 da, and the spinning wheel goes. Talk about your troubles is a crying sin. This is some lyrics. All right. I don't know. Chalet, maybe it's just you and me. There's only one eyeball. But that could be just like a lost connection or something, you know, when you drop out for a minute. But I think it's almost midnight. I got to walk the dogs. I'm going to head out. It's been a great ramble. Really good ramble. I'm like really proud of everybody, and I'm blessed that everybody here, you know, can get along. And so great job. And because me talking to a fence post is nothing, but it's all of us here together chatting that makes it a great ramble. So thank you guys. Never told you to link my stuff. You're silly. Oh, Mabel, you're the one. Okay. Everybody else dropped out for a minute. Yeah. You never told me to. Yeah, that's right. I did it anyway. So sue me. Okay. I got to say goodnight. Love you guys. And I'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Bye.